everybody, and welcome back to Life with Lolo. It is time for our weekly recap of Sistas. This is season 4, episode 8, and it was called The Sister. All right, y'all, real quick before I jump into this recap review, if you are not already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell. And if you end up liking this recap review, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. All right, ignore the hair. This is what y'all gonna get for the next week up until Wednesday, because that's when this girl getting her head done. So I'm going to be giving y'all Miss Cleo vibes. Call me now, you know what I'm saying? But that's what it's going to be, because underneath this scarf, child, bye. You don't want to see, you don't want to see that. Anyway, let's jump into this recap review. So it picked up right where it left off at, with Danny trying to get the wine bottle open. She's struggling with the damn cork. Talking about, couldn't he afford a fancier cork? I'm surprised he had a little automatic cork. They got like a little one you plug up or put batteries in. I don't know, child. And they pull the cork out. I ain't got one because I don't really drink like that. I only drink on occasions. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Anyway, he ain't got that. He got the little thingy pop in and stuff. And she's struggling, child. And Karen like, look, I said I'm pregnant. And they was like, yeah, girl, we heard you, okay? Danny, she finally get the cork open, child, or the cork out the bottle. She like, so you gonna keep it? They all looking at her like, Danny. I'm like, that was a valid question. Like, is you gonna keep it or not? Like, come on now. But Karen like, yes, I'm gonna keep the baby. She like, oh, okay, you know what? Shit, I ain't babysitting. They was like, Danny, that's enough. Like, too soon. Look, I'm just saying what y'all thinking, okay? Because y'all know y'all asses wasn't finna babysitting either, okay? Y'all would hire her a nanny, but y'all ain't babysitting. So then Danny was like, well, you know, since I'm on a roll, who the baby daddy? She like, Andy, Danny, Bree, like, I mean, that's a valid question. Bree, I mean, it is, you know, it's Zach's, of course. Well, I mean, like, you sure it's Zach's? Yes, I'm sure it's Zach's. I know it's Zach's baby. And so they asked, does Aaron and Zach know? And she like, yes, I told them both. And well, you know what they had to say? I don't even want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. So Danny over there, she mixing the grape juice with the apple juice, child. I mean, the cognac with the wine. So she mixing them two up, drinking. She double fisting the stuff. And then she like, well, they like, well, how far along is you? Like, when the baby due or whatever. She like, I don't know. I ain't go to the doctor yet. Danny like, bitch, we getting all dramatic over a pregnancy test. You know, that stuff be flawed. And so she was like, I took 3 of them. They like, oh, I mean, you know, it might be accurate, girl. It might be accurate. So they taking them to the head and stuff like that. And Danny like, you sure it's Zach's? So she like, yes, it is Zach's. I'm sure it's Zach's. And so Danny like, well, Zach and Fatima, they gonna have some issues, child. They gonna have some issues. And right on cue, Fatima the doorman had called Andy and telling her that, you know, Fatima was down there in the thing. And so she was going to come up. Andy mad because she like, I should have never invited her over here. Like, will something pop off? Danny like, yeah, because, you know, both of them be carrying. So they try to get Karen purse. Karen like, y'all should have got that ish when I came through the door. And so they like, well, we going to have to get Fatima purse because you know she carrying her Glocky. So then they like, oh my God. And so they try to figure out if Fatima know that, what's the girl name? Karen is pregnant, because she like, well, I did tell Zach. I told Zach. So they like, well, I know Zach ain't tell Fatima that you pregnant. So you trying to blindside her. You trying to set her up. Like, that ain't right. Why would you do something like that? And she like, well, you know, whatever. So Fatima come upstairs. And Andy like, well, let me go get her. And then Danny go over there to the door, because Fatima was like, girl, if I wouldn't know you was coming to somebody else's crib, I would have dressed up. I said, not you all in black. But then she had on these boots. They was like little combat boots. So I guess they was okay. But they was high heel combat boots. But I mean, they would be good to stomp a bitch. But I mean, like, if you like tripped or fell or something, you broke your ankle, like that's too much. So she should have had the flat never mind. But anyway, they was like, oh, okay. So then Danny came over there to meet Fatima. And she was like, well, girl, let me get your shoes. Let me get your purse. And she was like, you ain't getting this purse. So she was like, damn. All right, let me go on over here far away where I ain't getting shot. So Danny trying to look for the nearest exit, talking about something. Kim, you gonna throw her ass off the roof? You gonna throw her ass off? I said, y'all don't stop playing. So what had happened, child? So Fatima was like, well, y'all gonna tell me why I'm here, because Karen came over to the elevator and stuff, and then she was just like, come on in, or whatever. So she looking like, bitch, I wish you would try me, or whatever. So she's just like, all right, whatever. So then she go over there to the couch, and she like, Karen like, you can have a seat, but she looking at Bree and Danny. Danny and Bree ain't doing nothing, okay? I mean, then again, Bree did beat up Alfonso. Was it Alfonso? That sound right. Alonzo. She did beat him up in the jank. So, you know, maybe she could throw some blows or something like that. But it wasn't even on that type of stuff. But so she was like, no, I'ma stand. So she stand up there. And then so Karen just tell her outright, like, I'm pregnant. And she was like, oh, okay. Well, congratulations. She was like, it's by Zach. She was like, oh, okay. Yeah, Zach already told me. He already told me. Oh, then everybody looking like, oh, okay. He already told her what? So then she was like, you know, I ain't tripping or nothing like that, because we wasn't exclusive at the time. And, you know, I was, dealing with my feelings. He was dealing with his feelings. But now that we share feelings and we exclusive, you know, it's cool, whatever. But, you know, at that moment, it was all right. I ain't tripping off of that. So she was like, oh, okay. He tell you, she said, because he tell me everything or something like that. She was like, oh, I don't think he telling you everything. She was like, you know what? You might be right. He might not be telling me everything or whatever. And so then Karen like, so you don't believe me? I'm just saying, like, maybe he don't tell me anything or whatever like that. So she like, did he tell you that he called me every day? She was like, he call you every day? She was like, yeah. Oh, well, that's strange, because I got the password to his phone, and I don't see your name coming up on a missed calls. And Karen's face was looking like, but she had to play it off cool. But you know, he got 2 phones, right? Yeah, I know he got 2 phones. He be calling me on that other one. Oh, okay, that's fine. So she was like, and you know, he told you that he crazy about me or whatever. She like, okay. So she telling these lies, and the girl's looking like, what? Huh? He called you every day, girl. He told you he still wants you, girl. So they acted over there. They could not be on my team, okay? Because you got to have a straight face, child. No. But anyway, she like, well, I'm just letting you know to be careful, because you know Zach, he can't be trusted or whatever. She was like, oh, okay, well, thanks for your concern. She was like, yeah, I'm just concerned. I'm not really concerned over you. I'm just letting you know. She was like, yeah, thanks for your concern. Okay. So then they doing all this back and forth, child. And then, she was just like, well, you know, I'm having this baby and his dad is going to be in his life. She was like, oh, okay, that's fine, you know, whatever. But you know, 9 months is a long time. What you trying to say? You threatening me, Fatima? No, I ain't threatening you, girl. I'm just saying, you know, 9 months is a long time. You know, anything can happen. Like, we might not even still be together. Then it was like, girl, you just saying that to be nice, because y'all know y'all like this and stuff like that. So don't even say that. I said, Danny, what kind of friend is you? Girl, shut up. So she was just like, I mean, I'm just saying, you know, 9 months is a long time or whatever like that. So, you know, she was just like, all right. So then Fatima, she was like, well, is there anything else? Because I can go, whatever. So then she started walking away. And not Andy, because she was like, I'm leaving this sister circle or some shit like that. So then Karen went back over to the couch. And so Andy was like, no, girl, go back over there. She was like, you know what, Fatima? Come back. Fatima looking like. So then she like, you know what? I apologize. You know, I'm sorry. I'm not mad at you. I don't even really know you like that, you know. And Zach don't be calling me every day or whatever. And I'm just hurt by all the years that I put up with his mess, and then now he doing better, and then he want to act right or whatever like that. And this ain't got nothing against you or whatever. So I apologize to you. I said, damn, that was real fast. Like, they could have waited a couple moments or something like that. But whatever. Tyler Perry do things different. So Fatima's is like, you know what? I get it, Karen, and I don't got nothing against you or nothing like that. I've been through that, you know. These dudes always acting up, and then when they move on to the next one, they want to bring all the information that they learned from that past relationship into the new relationship, when they could have just learned all that information and just put it to our relationship. But you know what, girl? I understand. I've been through that. I've been with a lot of frogs, and I got my point. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? So she was just like, all right. And she was like, you know what? I just wish you the best, you know? And if this is Zach's baby, it is. if it's Zach's baby, you know, when he brings that child home, I ain't gonna mistreat your child or nothing like that. But you know, I feel like we should still get that paternity test or whatever. She was like, all right, girl, I ain't got no problem. Because earlier when they was beefing, she was like, I need you to get that paternity test. Oh, but she don't believe that this is his baby. I think we should just get it to be sure. She was like, all right, no problem. So then, of course, she won't say, you know, no problem again. But anyway, Fatima tried to leave for the second time, and they like, no, girl, come on, get a drink. You know, Danny. So then she like, all right, all right. So then they do this little sister powwow, and then Andy talking about something, she gonna be single, and all this other crap. Karen talking about she gonna be single. Danny talking about she gonna be single. Bree talking, she ain't really say nothing. And then they was like, Fatima, you don't even get to be a part of this conversation because you got the new Zach. And so then everybody was like, yeah, because we ain't never meet this Zach before. And she was like, she said something about she had to patch him up because he came a little flawed. And I was like, ooh, that's a dig at Karen. But they was just like, let's not talk about Zach no more. Let's talk about some Insta bitches because they not even real. And then they started to get high. And they were, because, you know, Danny had the blunt or whatever. She just had like the little weed joint. She had the old school joint. But anyway, she was just like, well, if I can stay. So then they all looked at Karen, and Karen was like, yeah, you can stay, whatever, like that. I was like, but this actually Andy's penthouse, so why are we looking at Karen? But whatever, child. Anyway, they all stay, they drink, they smoke, they talking about how dirty dogs that men is and stuff like that. And then somehow it got brought up the Rolls Royce in the penthouse, and then it was all in Andy's name. And so the Fatima was like, girl, what kind of pussy you got? She was like, Danny was like, that's what I'm trying to find out. So not her talking to her vagina. I was cracking up. She was like, is she selling you out, girl? Is she selling you out? Because I can help you, okay? And then they was talking about they going to bottle up Andy Punani and, you know, sell it or something like that. And then Danny was asking for Andy's old place. But I was like, girl, you in a whole studio. Is you just in a studio apartment just to be in a studio apartment? Or can you actually afford to be in Andy's spot? Because I'm sure you can. But, you know, whatever, girl. Anyway, we skip it over to Zach, and he gets a call from Jake. So was this at night? Yeah, this was in the apartment, Fatima apartment. So he getting a call from Jake, and he apologizing for Gary. He like, look, I'm apologizing for Gary. I don't know what Gary is. You know, he a little flawed. He ain't right upstairs. So Zach asked Jake, like, well, who looking out for me? Like, who calling y'all up? Who, you know, putting in some information or whatever? So he like, well, I'll put some fillers out with the FCC to see what they saying. So Zach was like, no, I don't really want you to do that because then my name going to be brought up some more. So he was like, no, I'm going to do it. It's going to be legit. But like, is you into something and I need to know? He was like, no, whatever. So he was like, well, look, you need to diversify your money. Like, you need to put your money on some, is this what he said? Yeah, put some money on some winners and some losers, because Zach keeps saying he had a hunch and he just put all his money on his winning horse or whatever like that. So he like, look, man, you need to scatter your money about, because it look real suspicious that this your first time in the stock market and you hit this stock and it just blew up out of nowhere. So this looking real suspect. So he like put it on some winners and some losers. Zach's talking about something, I ain't putting my money on no losers, man. So he like, look, that's what you need to do in this game or whatever. So they end up saying Jake gonna come over to help him paint. So Fatima back home, she tell him about what had happened on the with the girls and stuff like that. He tells her what happened with Gary and whatnot, and she like, see, I told you he wasn't right in the head or whatever. So she not even really comfortable with him talking to Jake, but I feel like Jake is a good person. And he probably making a lot of money with Gary. That's why he working with Gary, but he not really like tight with him like that. So Zach like, well, I don't trust none of them. And Fatima like, good, don't trust them or whatever. And then they end up wow in the shower. Then we see Andy. She ends up calling Karen. Karen, instead of going home, she went to the shop. And I was like, girl, why you go to the shop? So they talk and stuff. And she upset because Andy ain't come back to her little rinky-dinky apartment. And I'm like, girl, she had this whole penthouse. Why would she go back to your apartment? Like, if you don't let her go, like, cause you and Zach ain't work out, and then you can't get with the rich money Zach, like, you up here blocking her blessings with the Gary. Like, this whole penthouse is in her name. Now, I understand what y'all had said. Gary might try to control her, which he already controlling her, and they ain't even together, child. But it's in my name. Like, what can he do? How he gonna take it away and it's in my name? Y'all let me know. But anyway, Aaron is calling Karen, so she ends up hanging up with Andy. So then Aaron basically seeing if she okay and why she ain't go home. And she like, well, why you still up? And he like, well, I was out here playing b-ball with Zach and the fellas and stuff. So she was just like, okay, well, I'm doing good. He trying to, let her know, like, if this baby is mine, then I'm going to be there or whatever. And I was looking at the calendar, and it could be either or. It could be my baby or your baby. She getting all mad and defensive. Like, why would you do that? Why would you even look that up? I know who my baby daddy is, and I'm going to the doctor. He like, well, when you going to the doctor? I'm going to go to the doctor when I go to the doctor. Like, she getting the attitude, and I'm like, girl, what's wrong with you? Like, you all in your head that you want this baby to be Zach so bad. You scared to go to the doctor because the doctor going to tell you the dates, and it's going to be the same dates that Aaron came up with, and it's going to show that both of them could be the baby daddy because y'all had sex around the same day. I think it was like 1 or 2 days apart. Like, girl, bye. So anyway, and wasn't she having sex with Zach before with no protection, and his swimmers wasn't swimming, so now his swimmers swimming all of a sudden? Girl, stop. Like, get out of my face with all that other stuff. But anyway, we see Andy. She in her penthouse apartment, and she finally played a video that Gary had sent her, and the video is basically giving her a tour of the place and telling her how much he loved her, and then he got ice cream, her favorite kind of ice cream, up in the freezer, and he wanted her to press come or stay or whatever like that, and whatever choice she made on the iPad, it was going to send her a message, and he hoped that she sent come or whatever, but I don't think she did. I think she had said no, because it didn't seem like it the next day when Gary was talking to how about I say Gary was talking to Zach. Gary was talking to Jake and all that other stuff. But anyway, we see Zach, he pulling up to his place. So his phone ring is Gary. Gary apologized and saying that he was out of line and all this other stuff. Zach like, it's all good, dude. It's all good. And so Zach asked Gary again, like, what name is my what circles is my name in? And so Gary like, well, I don't really want to say over the phone. I'm going to have Jake meet up with you. So he was like, all right, bet. And so Gary asked Zach again, like, did you get, like, did you get a tip? Like, how did you know about this stock or whatever? So, of course, Zach, he being real closed mouth with it because he don't want to say, that he was doing some insider trading biz or whatever like that. So he hangs up with Gary or whatever. And then Hayden comes into Gary's office. I said, not this crippled motherfucker. So he come in there. And he basically is working with Gary. Hayden dropped the ball because remember Hayden, before he got beat up, I think he called the FCC and was saying that it was some insider trading. That's how they got Zach's name. So I guess he trying to use Gary to find out how Zach got the money, and then once Zach say, this is how I got the money, then he gonna be like, boom, this is the evidence y'all need or whatever. But Zach, he too smart for that. I mean, like, he a little too defensive at times, but he too smart to be like dropping information like that because he been in the system and stuff. So so in return, Gary got Hayden looking out for Andy to see like if Robin come back, if he flirting with Andy and all this other stuff. So they kind of working together. And then Gary ends up letting us know that he got a record, like a file on Hayden because Hayden be doing some illegal ish. Because Gary was like, well, why you so into this man business? Like, why you gotta bug up your ass about this man or whatever? He was like, don't worry about that. I just don't like when people do illegal shit. And so Gary was like, oh, so you don't like when others do illegal shit other than yourself. So he doing some illegal mess, and Gary got all that information because Hayden leaves out. Jake come in, and Jake like, I don't like this dude. Like, he he's sus. I don't like him or whatever. And he like, and I don't like the fact that you working with him to spy on your ex-girlfriend. He like, I ain't working with him to spy on my ex-girlfriend. He just giving me some information. And I ain't worried about him because the mess I got on him, he ain't gonna say nothing. So then he gives him the folder for Zach and was just like, well, let me know when you go to meet up with Zach or whatever. So, oh yeah, and also Gary had told Zach like he need to take some money out. Like he need to take some money out and stash some money out, like take some money out the bank and stash it. Because he already know once the FCC, the feds, all that stuff get involved, they gonna shut down Zach's accounts. They gonna put that thing under lock and key. So he was telling them like, go to the bank, take some money out, don't worry about nothing or whatever. So that's what he told him too. So anyway, at the bank, Maurice, he arrives to work. Of course, Q, he pop out the bushes talking about some, hey baby. He like, well, what the hell you doing here? How you get out? I told you I had snitched on some people. Well, why you here? Well, I got this ankle bracelet, and if I ain't at your place in an hour, they're gonna put me back in jail. You was not staying at my house, Q. I told you. So all that stuff you said on the phone and stuff like that, that's telling me that you love me and stuff like that, you wanted to be with me and you wanted to help me out and stuff like that, that was all a lie, baby. That was all a lie. He's like, look, why is you here? You came to the scene of the crime. They tracking you. Oh yeah, I ain't think about that. But look, baby, we got to go back to your house. Come on, I got an hour. So then while they talking, having this back and forth, the same conversation over and over again, Bree pull up. So Bree sees all of this popping off. So she like, I'm calling the cops. Child, she opened up the bank door so fast and I was like, was the doors locked? So anyway, once Bree come, Q run off or whatever. So then Jake rolls up at Zach's place. So Zach, he getting everything together. They talking. He say he trying to move in a couple of days or whatever. And so Jake finally tell him like it was an inquiry at the FCC. He like, they don't know. I don't know what they was saying, but they gonna contact you. But as long as you got all the information right, like you was watching this stock for a long time, like you should be good. He was like, oh yeah, I was watching this company for a long time. He was like, all right, well, what was the margins in 2015? He was like, man, don't nobody remember no margins in 2015. He was like, well, what about the margins in 6 months ago? He was like, man, I remember 6 months ago. He was like, look, you don't know nothing about this company. Like, let me print out some stuff, run some stuff by you. We gonna have to get this together because once they call you and interview you, if you don't have this information, they gonna know something is not right. So he was like, well, why you trying to help me do what's in it for you? You ain't right. And I'm like, he's trying to help your ass out. Like, if you don't calm the hell down, because for real, he don't have to tell you none of that. He could be like, all right, you said you got it legally or whatever. All right, deuces. Let's get the paintbrush and let's start painting. But Jake like, look, I like you. You a cool dude, and I don't want to see you go under. So I'm gonna try to help you out. All right, we gonna see if you right. We gonna see if you legal and stuff like that, man. You better be legit, man. You better be legit. So he doing all this extra shit, child. So while they talking, the lady who kept going to Karen's job, I guess she with the FCC, the feds, or whatever like that. So she come in there with all these cops and she like, you Zachary Taylor or whatever like that. He was like, I may or may not be. She was like, whatever. You under arrest. So then he under arrest. Jake looking like, the fuck is going on? And then that's how it ended, child. I said, this don't make no sense. Everybody always getting Zach out of trouble. And he's not appreciative at all. Because next week's episode, it looked like Jake they hired him a lawyer who want to school him on the information that he needs to know to get him out of this trouble or whatever like that. And like Zach, he is a good person. Like I like his character, but the fact that they keep bailing him out of trouble is just annoying to me because like at what point is we gonna learn? Like what is we gonna like? Come on now. Like the last time Hayden set him up with the crack cocaine and all the other stuff. Well, not the crack cocaine, it was cocaine. He set him up with the cocaine, so that ain't had nothing to do with him or whatever. However, like this issue right here, Zach put himself in this predicament. So like, come on now. And then he acting all, well, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Like, he is irritating at times. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all felt about the episode. If y'all ended up liking this recap review, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. And also don't forget to hit that share button, subscribe button, and the notification bell. All right, y'all. Until next time. Peace.